Hello, my name's Steve Winter, and today's book is Man's Search for Meaning by Victor Frankl. Now, Victor Frankl was a survivor at the concentration camps in Nazi Germany, and he lived to tell the story on how people were brutally tortured, and how did they mentally keep sane throughout that whole moment. And in this book, he talks about how your success and survivor, just like those prisoners in the Nazi Germany camps, is dependent on your ability to find meaning in your suffering. Now, he shares how in the beginning, when prisoners were entering into the camp, they were shocked with what was happening, and they started to rationalize that maybe this would not happen to them. They had hope. They were shocked in a hopeful way. But later on, when they saw that their death was coming and it's going to be imminent, they were shocked in a apathy way. No meaning from my life. Why should I even care? I might as well just take what I can. It's all about me. Survive another day kind of thing. And that was really horrible. So Victor points out that in this book, the power of choice, the freedom of choice, is really the last thing that we have in our lives before our life comes to an end. When you're being brutally tortured, you have no value to your life, everything's taken away from you, and you're facing death. Prisoners in Nazi Germany were still faced with having to make choices. What do I do today to find meaning in my life, to live another day and not feel like there's no hope in my life? He saw that prisoners were making choices, working harder during their shifts so that they can win favor with the guards to live another day. Or they chose not to and just go straight to the fence and shock themselves and then die. So people have choices at the end of their lives in their suffering. Do they want to continue with a positive mindset or lose complete hope? Which I found that to be very valuable. Another point I liked about this book was he mentioned how when the prisoners escaped, first of all, they couldn't believe that they were actually free. It took them a long time for that to settle in. How many of us realize that when we're out of our suffering, when we just change our diets or when we change our relationship, we're actually free from our suffering, but we just don't realize it. And then the prisoners became bitter. They became so bitter for what they went through that people didn't recognize just how bad their life was, and they started being resentful to people and mean to people. How many of us are like that with the little things we go through in our life? Now, Victor says that people believe in order to make the right choices in their life that they need to first find their life's purpose. But he has this theory called logo theory, and he says we act and take responsibility. I say that again. How we act and the responsibility we feel towards our choices determines the meaning that we have in our lives. Now he says, figure out your life's purpose according to your own decisions. So look back on your decisions. Look back on your actions. How did you act? How did you feel? Why did you make those decisions? Now, based on your actions, you can write down, this is basically what I find meaningful in my life because I've done this. But that's not always the case, because maybe your values, maybe the meaning that you gave for your life was this small. And you learned the lesson and you transcended and you grew and you transformed yourself and you became better yesterday or better today than you were yesterday. So the meaning that you give to your life can change. Your suffering, what you give meaning to your suffering yesterday can be a B+. And you can be inspired tomorrow and find a new meaning in your life. So it doesn't mean that your actions that you did yesterday define your life today. The meaning you decide for your life can become better and better. So that's what religion is for. That's what inspiration is for. We're trying to become better human beings. So I really like this book for that reason. I hope you enjoyed it. Take care.